So at the center of the spread, we have here the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands usually indicates a lot of communication. In our modern age, this is going to deal with, email, telephone, text messages, however you communicate with another person. So this can be via social media as well. There's a lot of it coming back and forth between you and other people. And I do feel it's going to be from you to other people and from other people to you. I don't feel it's one-on-one basis. The one-on-one type of communication usually indicates like the Two of Cups, where two people sit down at a cafe, at a place, or going on a date and having a conversation to get to know each other. This deals with like a lot of communication coming from different channels via multiple people. So you have some options here to choose from, okay? A lot of you might just be online dating, or you could just be like sought out by many, many suitors. Okay, so it's a very, very good card. And it's coupled with the Eight of Swords as well. So let me just say this. You have a lot of communications. You have a lot of information coming through. And you also have a lot of suitors coming through. And what I feel is happening is I see you retreating a little bit. I see you kind of like feeling a little bit overwhelmed, not sure which way to go and not sure which offers to accept, which offers to turn down. So I see you shying away from it. When someone like seeks you out, I guess like this is more of the air sign qualities as well. Fire signs are very, very much about, they're very goal oriented. If they see somebody they like, they're very open and honest when it comes to the communication and when it comes to stating whatever it is that they feel about the other person. So they're very verbal and they're very straightforward and direct. As a water sign, but I feel like this is more of a Cancerian and possibly Aquarius trait. You're represented by the crab, and the thing about crabs is that they tend to move sideways. If you've ever been at a beach and you've observed a crab, they tend to move sideways. And when they see the object that they like, they tend to run circles around that. And they need to make sure they check the parameters to make sure that the environment is safe before they head in, okay, for the kill, or, they head in to pursue something. So I feel like that's what's happening here. Somebody is coming at you very, very aggressively, and you might take a step back and you might not be comfortable with it, or you might feel like they might have ulterior motives. So either way, I feel like they don't have ulterior motives. I don't sense that. But I do feel that because they're coming in abundance and they're coming in so aggressively, it makes you a little bit nervous, because I do feel that you and Aquarius, you tend to act a little bit more aloof when you're dealing with other people. Aquarius, that's just something that they do. But with you, it might be shyness, or it might just be, trying to play it cool, or taking a more indirect approach at getting what you want, or communicating in a way that might not be completely clear cut, or concise, in order to get to the object of your affection. So I feel like there's a roundabout way in which you're doing things. Some people can consider it like blowing hot and cold. In your mind, you feel like I'm just being cautious, but I feel like other people might think you're blowing hot and cold. So be consistent with communication. Try to narrow down your options, and at least, state very clearly. If you're not interested in somebody, you don't have to play nice, just don't waste people's time, I feel, and just be very, very clear, succinct with communication. And I feel at the same time, if you are dealing with an air sign, so an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, I definitely feel there's this like constant blowing hot and cold back and forth between you and an air sign. If you're dealing with them, where, you say one thing, they think you mean another, and then they say one thing, you think they mean something else. So I definitely feel that situation. If that seems to be the case with the air sign, I don't feel anybody's doing it on purpose. I just feel like it's different elements communicate very differently, react very differently as well. So it's just a case of misunderstanding and not really understanding where the other person's coming from, okay? On the other hand, I feel like we have an earth sign here in the past. This is somebody that is showing up from the past, okay? It's in the past position. There is somebody in your life. This is an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Once again, I feel like there's an element here of this person. They are very worldly. They have been traveling a lot. They have culturally, linguistically, ethnically, they might be very different from you. Okay, they're very established in their field. They're like mid-career professional is what I would call this. It's the Knight of Pentacles. It's somebody who is very, very slow to action, but whatever they commit themselves to, they commit fully. So they don't commit easily, but they commit, once they commit themselves, they are very reliable, and they are very caring, very nurturing, and they're willing to build a future with you. Is linked up here with the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Swords indicates like very good communication. There's a great energetic flow between you and this person, and I definitely feel there's an element of distance associated with the two of you. They might travel a lot, you might travel a lot, and as a result of it, there might be like very, very little time in order for you both to like get together, to have to form a stable, to build a relationship, like a stable relationship with one another. So there's some difficulties here, and it has been a situation in the past where there might have been difficulties, but I definitely feel that this is somebody that you really enjoy talking to, and you have a great deal of things in common, and you have like a very good intellectual rapport as well. What I'm feeling with this person is that there's some communication coming through from them. They might be in the area and they might want to see you. There's some type of a solid offer coming through, like an offer on the material level, you know, like going on a physical date, or getting together, and there's something concrete here that's coming into the picture. What I'm also feeling is this person, I feel like, likes you quite a bit, okay? We do have the victory card associated with it as well. So this is somebody that they might be in and out of the picture because of circumstances, not because of their feelings for you. But I definitely feel like they're solid, they're a solid character, and they do like you quite a bit. What's coming in the future, though? We do have here the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is a fire sign. So this is movement. This indicates travel, movement, and things like that. On the mundane level, it can represent a person, a fire sign, Taurus. I'm sorry, not Taurus. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, and this is somebody who is quite aggressive with their communication. They're very straightforward. What you see is pretty much what you get. They're very courageous, and they also travel quite a bit too. This is someone who has trouble sitting still, staying in one place. They have a very low boredom threshold as well. They're linked up with the Nine of Wands. There is a little bit of a fear of commitment with this person, mainly because their lifestyle is very, very, independent, and they don't like to travel with a lot of emotional baggage. And it's hard to put this person into a framework where they are going to either fit the mold of a relationship partner. They don't really like labels, and they might not be in a position where they will stay around long enough for a relationship. I feel like, commitment phobic energy with this fire sign, okay? Not only because they're a fire sign, but because I feel like there might have been things in their past that they are escaping from, and they might have recently left a relationship, and now they are trying to play the field, not in a way where they're deceptive. I feel like they're trying to be a little bit more cautious. They're trying to take their time to get to know someone very, very well before they jump into a relationship. What I'm also sensing as well is I feel that there is a fire sign that you've been dealing with, okay? So this is, once again, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo. I feel their energy coming in very, very heavily for this month. And what I'm sensing is they want to see you. For some reason, they might have been out of the picture in the recent past. They're like out of the picture. They're making a comeback into your life sometime for this month. And the communication between the two of you, there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of passion. So I feel that, but at the same time, there's a lot of fearfulness from your end, okay? You don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle this situation. It's highly volatile. It's highly like, I feel it being highly volatile. I feel like there is a lot of hesitation on your end about what to do. So I feel like you're possibly on the defense against this person. They might be coming back from the past. You might have had squabbles in the past. You might not have seen eye to eye on many of life's decisions and choices. And I feel like they're making a comeback. There's going to be communication. They might, communicate with you that they want to see you, or they might want you to come see them. But I feel like It's not a harmonious, because you're a water sign, they're a fire sign. It's not a harmonious union. I do feel they have a good heart and they mean well. And they're very brave, courageous, and you like them a lot, mainly because, like the opposites attract, that type of an energy where you attract one another. So there's great attraction, there's great passion. But I feel like there's something here where there's something in this situation where you're feeling fearful about re-engaging, and you feel like they wear their heart on their sleeve. So you feel like no matter what happens, this is going to, if you agree to it, it's going to lead to a serious relationship. So I feel like you're not really sure what you want to do, and you're taking a step back as well. Okay. So there's a lot of communication. A lot of you might have recently gotten out of relationship with an earth sign transitioning to a fire sign, and all of a sudden you're getting communication from both, and you're just inundated with like, what do I do now? And you might take a step back. You might just remove yourself from a situation. You might not respond altogether. So going back to what I mentioned earlier, it's a whole process about maturation. So if you feel like, I really like this fire sign, but I don't know how we're going to build a future together, it is really important for you to, put other people's needs first, which is to clearly explain the circumstance, to clearly explain your feelings for them, and express your concerns to them as well. So I feel like sometimes you might like somebody and we might selfishly keep them for our own purposes, and we know we can't give them what they want. Okay. I feel like you've got two very, very solid options on the table, the earth sign and the fire sign, and you're kind of like caught in the middle and you're not really sure what to do. A lot of you are leaning towards this earth sign. A lot of you feel that there can be a victory, which indicates, a solid, stable relationship that can be had here. Whereas the fire sign's a little bit aggressive, and the chemistry is very exciting, but you're not sure if it's going to go anywhere. And as a result of it, you might be letting them go. Okay. And I feel like if you can't give them what they deserve or what you feel they want, it's really important to verbalize that. Okay. So let's look at the crowning energy. The crowning energy is usually, the things that are weighing on your mind, the things that are affecting your decisions. We do have the Emperor. So the Emperor came out first, and then I pulled out the World card to clarify. So we do have the Emperor. So this is coming in as a universal like warning or a universal blockage. Okay. One of the things that you are really, really concerned about is your public image. Okay. So the Emperor is a person in a position of authority. He makes the hard decisions. Okay. This is somebody who thinks with their head. They're very logical, very rational. However, when they make decisions, they also take into account the human relationships. They also take into account, the whole spiel about, actions and consequences. And they always try to do the right thing. And they always try to strive for the best outcome for everybody involved. Not just the best outcome for themselves, but, as a ruler, you have to rule over many, many subjects, and you have to keep your subjects happy. So in this situation, it's urging you, or you're thinking about, what is the fair thing to do for everybody involved? Not just me, not just to gratify my ego, but what's the best thing for me to do? And one of the things that's coming through here is the Wheel of Fortune, which is the wheels of destiny, which is fate. And it deals heavily with karma. It deals with actions and consequences. And I feel like a lot of the times when it comes to like, heavy karmic relationships, they're not easy to extract ourselves from. And if you're choosing between two people that could potentially serve, that you feel you are heavily connected to, I do sense that there is a sense of karma at work where the decisions are rarely simple. They're not always easy. They're not always clear cut. So you are going to have to dig deep and really, embody the energy of the Emperor, where he makes the difficult decisions. But in the end, his decisions are going to help more people than it hurts people. So just keep that in mind and try to be righteous, try to do things that are, that embody this energy. Okay. So the foundation here is the situation on which this whole thing is built. This whole love dilemma triangle possibly is built. First of all, we have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is a situation where I feel for a lot of you, you have isolated yourselves in the past. And especially like, I felt this energy coming through very strongly for, I believe, April and May, where I saw you like moving around constantly on the go. Um, like traveling a lot, making a lot of connections, and feeling very, very tired. Your soul was very tired from all the work, all the traveling, all the worryings about your finances. And I feel like at this point, you're in a very good position financially. And I feel like in the past, you were struggling to get yourself to this point. And whenever we have financial worries weighing over our heads, we don't always make the right decisions. And what I mean by that is, I feel almost like this sense of the ego is greatly tied up with your financial station. So for example, if you made a lot of money, if you start making a lot of money, I feel like you might spend it frivolously. You might seek a different type of a relationship partner. You might not even want a relationship partner. You might seek more fun, more excitement. You might be inclined to do reckless things in relationships because you feel like, well, my lifestyle, my income, I can't afford it. So I'm going to take all these risks. And then when your financial situation starts to flounder, or it starts to, when you feel like you're in a deficit, I feel like that's when you start to think about, who has been in my life and who has been like, the person that has always been there for me, who has been really stable in my life, who was the one person that I could always count on. And then you miss that person, and you start to like, value the simple things in life. You start to also value certain things in a person that you feel, such as like reliability, such as dependability, and such as someone who doesn't really care about status, who loves you unconditionally. So I hope that makes sense. That was a very poor way of explaining it, but I feel like the choices that you make in relationship partners is dependent upon your financial standing. That's what I feel. So if that sounds like it resonates with you, you want to really think about, like, how are your choices different when you make a lot of money versus how your choices are different when you don't have a lot of money, and what kind of partner you want. Do you want the ones that are going to be there for you through thick and thin? Because then you might have to re-examine your choices. Or do you want somebody who likes the high life, the good life, but they might not stay around when you hit financial difficulties, okay? So just something to think about, Cancers. It's linked up here with the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is a new opportunity that is given to you, okay? And it's a situation that can be built upon. It is a situation that has a lot of potential, a lot of promise. And it has all the preconditions for a very, very stable relationship. So here's what I'm feeling. I feel like this is coming in for you. There is an offer from the universe in terms of a very, very stable romantic partner who really, really cares about you, who really adores you. And I feel like this is a situation that is handed out to you. But a lot of you are turning your back on it, okay? A lot of you might be taking it for granted. And I feel like there's this earth sign. I feel like it's the earth sign that really, really cares about you. And there's a victory here, which means that this person, this person cares about you. This person really likes you. And I'm feeling like you might take this person for granted, and you might think that they're going to be around forever. And as a result of it, you might have waited too long to show them how you feel. You might have waited too long. They might have offered something to you, like they might have expressed how they felt about you. And you've taken a step back. You were trying to sort out your feelings. You were trying to sort out the situation. And you felt that, they were going to be around. So you could take a little bit longer dithering or at least trying to sort out your emotions. And I feel like while you were turning your back on this, while you were off on your own, thinking about things and figuring out how, how you're gonna, whether or not you're gonna go with this person, I feel like they might have gone off with somebody else. So there's like a little bit of that misconnection coming through because you took a little bit too much time to make a decision. Okay. What I'm also feeling is, it's basically telling me you are out looking for others of you. You might be out looking for excitement. Okay. Excitement, and you're turning your back on a situation where that could be very long lasting, very fulfilling for you. And it's because it's sort of like that expression where you were out there trying to find, um, trying to increase your dating life, enhance your dating life, enhance your dating circle, and you were going with options that were pretty much dead ends. You were seeking the people that rushes into your life, but they pretty much burn out, they fizzle out, rather than looking for the one. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're not ready, you're not ready. But I feel like a lot of you are ready, but you're sending out mixed signals on the dating front. Or you tell yourself that you're ready, you're trying to find the one, but when the one comes knocking, you're turning your back. So just be very, very mindful about this situation, okay? For those of you in stable relationships, I feel like finances has been a major, major issue in your relationships in the past. Now that you're financially, you're very stable, I feel like you might not have the time to adequately spend on your partner. You might not have, the enough time in the day to get together to really like solidify or to come reunite or to come together as a couple. So I feel like both parties are very, very busy. There's very little time in between your busy schedules to coordinate meetings, to coordinate dates. So it's really important to take time away from work and to really enjoy each other's presence, because it seems almost like two people are leading separate lives. Okay. It's like circumstances will basically drive you apart. So you have to find ways to make things work and to come together whenever you get a chance. So just don't neglect the relationship because of work. Don't neglect the relationship because you feel like you are trying to get, where you are to this position of power, status, and to enhance your public image. So don't neglect the relationship as a result of it, okay? So I do see that coming in, especially for those of you in stable relationships or who are married. What I'm also feeling as well is a lot of you might be just transitioning, might have multiple options on the go, and you're getting a lot of messages from both sides, and you might be torn between two people. That's what I'm feeling. And I would say that the earth sign, I feel like it is a very, very solid choice. It is somebody that will be around for quite some time. The fire sign, very, very exciting, very passionate, but I do sense that they like you too. I do feel that, but in terms of like true harmony, reciprocity, and things like that in a relationship, as it plays out, I feel that you don't have enough in common in order to sustain this relationship, okay?